and welcome to beautiful Margaret River, Australia. We are about to get underway with the final in this 4-star World Qualifying Series event. In the water right now, Simon Law, Taj Burrow, Vetea David, and Todd Prestage. I'm Todd Harris along with world champion Peter Townend. PT, the waves are looking good, the horn sounds, and we are underway with one of the most hotly contested titles anywhere in the world.
Well, the waves aren't as good as they were in the earlier going of this event, but they're still good because they come over this reef, as we see on his backhand there. A great upside-down move there by Todd Prestage. He just blasted that section. Let's see if he can get anything going on the inside to maximize that great outside move.
Todd Prestage, the Australian. Taj Burrow, meanwhile, up and riding as well on his backhand. Nice-looking wave there, PT, but it's really falling apart.
Well, he got a good move in that critical section, though, Todd, as it hit the reef. These waves are breaking over a reef out there, and even though the conditions are kind of windy and it's bumpy, when it hits the reef, it forms up nicely, as we see going right here. Simon Law with a couple of good moves, so three guys there getting good opening rides.
Well, it's a great opening exchange here at beautiful Margaret River in Western Australia as the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters final begins right here on ESPN. We welcome you to Western Australia, more specifically beautiful Margaret River for the 1997 Coca-Cola Rusty Masters. Hello once again, Todd Harris along with the former world surfing champion Peter Townend and PT. Margaret River definitely one of the best breaks in West Oz.
Great break. It's a destination for surfers worldwide. You know, it's a reef break, and when the swells pour in here, just great shaped waves. Today, the weather's a little inclement, but we still have good waves because the reef shapes up those swells, and the guys are doing some great surfing.
All right, the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters is a WQS or World Qualifying Series event, but today it looks more like a World Championship Tour stop.
No question, and that has to do with the break itself. You know, this reef break, guys like to come over here because they expect good waves. We've got a great lineup of guys, Lupo, Barton Lynch, both former champions. Of course, young guys like Taj Burrow. But disappointing result for last year's champion, Chris Gallagher. He gets knocked out in the early going.
All right, so Chris Gallagher is out, but we've got four great surfers in the water. We will also give you a closer look at our host city, Margaret River, plus have highlights of the Quit Women's Classic. But right now, another set's on its way in. Let's go back to the final.
Well, Todd, that first exchange, it looked like Todd Prestage got better of the exchange there to start this final, as we see Taj Burrow taking a look at a ride. His first one, he comes off the bottom, big move off the top, he drops back into it, or he loses a little bit off the bottom, then a nice snap on the open face. Meanwhile, out behind him, Vetea David going on his backhand. He's going to go over that whitewater section there. Oh, he's catching a rail. That wave not shaping up so great for him.
This is Taj Burrow finishing off his wave. He is the local from Margaret River. This is Vetea David, a very big, powerful surfer from Papeete, Tahiti, and PT all week long. He has been the big surprise.
Well, that wave didn't start off so great, but it finished up nicely on the inside there. Got a good move on the inside, but he loves this place. He's been in the finals out here before, and he hasn't had such a great final here in the early going, but his earlier heats in this competition were fabulous.
We go back and have a look at the young Taj Burrow. PT first wave, 5.67. His second wave, a 6.27.
Well, he gets that first move there, that big whack off the top there, and he comes out on the open face with a nice cutback, so a good second wave there for Taj.
He gets an 11.95 total. Meanwhile, Vetea David picks up his first wave, and it's only a 5.50.
Well, that outside of that wave didn't really happen for Vetea, but the inside he got a good move, but he'll need better than that today.
The mention of Western Australia typically conjures up pictures of a vast arid outback. But a visit to the coast in the Margaret River area will change that misconception quickly. It is an amazingly beautiful place. Eucalyptus forests and lush meadows are just two of the reasons to visit this area. And then, of course, there's the most important reason to visit Margaret River, the surf. Powerful swells from the Indian Ocean fuel a myriad of reef and beach breaks, and when the pros are in town, there's a lot of action in the water. And if you don't like the crowds, there are plenty of unridden waves coming in, if you have the ingenuity to reach them. When we come back to Western Australia, we'll have more of the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters. Stay with us. Welcome back to the 1997 Coca-Cola Rusty Masters from beautiful Margaret River in Western Australia. Todd Harris along with Peter Townend, and we are in the midst of a great final with 3 Australians and 1 lone Tahitian.
And up and riding on his back end with the big outside move there. Todd Prestage comes around, nice roundhouse wrap around over the whitewater there, and this should be a good high score here for Todd Prestage on his second wave.
Todd Prestage from Gerringong in New South Wales, Australia, been surfing great all week long. Another one of the guys who makes a regular visit here. This is Simon Law up and riding on his front side.
Well, Simon Law has been favouring the rights all throughout the competition, and he's been making the most of them. That one really doesn't work out for him, but I'm sure he'll get another one before this final's over.
Simon Law's wave totally crumbles on top of him. We go back and look at this exchange, and it looks like Prestage got the better of the two.
We see Prestage come off the bottom there with the big lip floater there. He goes right over the back of the wave and free falls back in. And then he comes out on the open face with the big roundhouse wraparound into the lip. And he picks up the 6.83, our best score so far.
While Mother Nature gives us a break on the sets, let's have a look at some of the highlights from earlier action. The early rounds of this event took place under blue skies and smoother water. Even during the afternoon, and when it was considered blown out, you could still see this world-class break serving up great waves. It's hard to tell sometimes who is putting on the better show, the competitors or Margaret River. Back to the final of the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters. Todd Harris along with Peter Townend. That is Vetea David. He needs a wave in a big wave, PT.
Well, so far in the final, he's only had one, and it wasn't much of a wave, so he's in the back of the pack right now as we see Taj Burrow taking a look at this right. He drops in late, comes off the bottom, snaps on the open face with a big move, comes out, nice little quick snap, and then he drives into this next section, a little floater, accelerating down the line. Let's see the big move, a big bash at the end there, and that's going to be a high-scoring wave for Burrow.
Here's Vetea David, his first wave, only a 5.50. Let's see what he can do with this.
Well, an upside-down move there, but the wave fades out on him. Gets a great move, but he'll need more wave than that if he wants to get a big score.
Well, let's go back and have a look at Taj Burrow's wave, PT, and this is one of the nicer ones of the day.
Well, the unbelievable thing he did there, he cut that maneuver short so he could get the acceleration to drive down the line here to set up for this big move here at the end. He gets the big lip bash there at the end in the critical section, and the score at 8.33, our best wave so far.
Well, that takes him to 20.27, so Taj Burrow out in front of the local crowd. Meanwhile, Todd Prestage up and riding.
First look at Prestige going right. Big move off the lip right there. He accelerates off the bottom again onto the open face. Now let's see if he can get anything going here at the end to maximize this score. Nice little snap there. He could have hit it a little harder. Drives down the end here. Can he get something more? Oh, nice tail slide there at the end. And just not quite able to bring it around onto the whitewater at the end.
Prestige from New South Wales kicks out. This is Simon Law up and riding, another New South Wales resident.
Well, Simon looks like he's got a better wave finally here to work with on the rights. And here he comes with a quick snap on the open face, accelerates down the line. Big lip bash right there into the insides. Let's see if he can get another maneuver. He goes for the cutback, whacks it off the whitewater, and that should give him his best score so far.
Simon Law and Todd Prestage going 1 and 2 there. Let's go back first of all and have a look at Todd Prestage's wave.
Well, you see, he accelerates off the bottom there and just smashes it through the lip, free falls back into the wave, and he picks up the 6.5 for that one. Meanwhile, we'll have to wait and see what the judges give Law as we take a look at it again. He gets a nice aggressive cut back on the face right there, drops down to the bottom with the acceleration, goes up, punches it through the lip right there, and he picks up a great score here, a 7.17, giving him the better of the exchange.
Well, we've seen how beautiful Margaret River is on the surface, but below it's just as spectacular. This is Lake Cave in Western Australia. We'll be back with more of the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters after this. Welcome back to beautiful Margaret River in Western Australia for the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters. Todd Harris along with Peter Tannen, and we are into a great final. Current standings right now look like this. It's young Taj Burrow, the local, out in front with 20.27. Then it's Todd Prestage, Simon Law, and Vetea David in fourth with only 2 waves. PT Vetea David is running out of time. He's got to pick something up and quick.
Well, here's a good-looking wave for Vetea, his first ride of the final. He gets good positioning, he drives out onto the open face, gouges the cutback, catches a bit of a rail, but powers through it. Now he drives down the inside, another snap on the face right over the water photographer there. Still working it to the inside, and he should pick up his best score in this final so far.
Vetea David, a very savvy surfer from Papeete, Tahiti, knew he needed a wave and picked it up fast, and that, PT, definitely was his best wave of the day.
As we take a look at it again, you see the nice cutback on the face right there. Then he drives down and drives along the face out onto the open face with the gouging cutback, powers through that turn right there, and then accelerates down the inside for a couple more maneuvers to pick up a 7.77, his best wave by far.
He goes to 17.94, and like that, he moves into third place. Margaret River not only lends its name to our event Surf Break, but to a town as well. Located about 10 minutes inland, Margaret River's blend of agriculture and cottage industries has created a unique atmosphere. The surrounding area is known for its vineyards and fine wines, while the town itself is home to many artisans and craftsmen.
I'm done bending over, doing all this stuff. I can surf.
Rusty team member Pat O'Connell had a chance to visit with one such craftsman, Scott Wise, a local surfer who hand makes one-of-a-kind guitars.
Fit it in here.
Yeah, how did you... Okay, I'm like jumping the gun to ask you how you bend boots.
Just I do it by hand. A lot of the big factories have a steam.
Needless to say, Pat was enthralled with the visit and truly impressed by the finished product. We go back to the final of the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters from beautiful Margaret River. We're a little over halfway through this, PT, and some waves are starting to pour in.
Well, up to this point, it's been a 2-horse race between Burrow and Prestige, as we see Prestige again choosing the rights. He comes off the bottom here, accelerates, big blast off the top right there, accelerates again, rebounds over the whitewater, and right behind him, Burrow on another wave looking like it's got better shape, accelerates into the lip there with a big blast, and a rebound off the whitewater, drives down the inside, floater at the end, and I think he'll get the better of that exchange, Todd.
Taj Burrow, the local for Margaret River, surfing with all that local knowledge. Todd Prestage, a nice wave for him, but as you pointed out, PT, I think Taj Burrow had the better of the two. Let's go back and see what the judges say.
As we see Burrow there stranded on the dry reef, we go back to take a look at those two rides. Great exchange here between these two competitors. Here's a look at Prestige again with the floater over the whitewater right here. Then he drops back into it, and this is the key move on this wave. He drops down to the bottom, he comes around the section, and he goes up vertical right there, gets it straight up, picks up the 6.73. Meanwhile, Burrow on the next wave, it had better shape, gave him better opportunity, gets a vertical move of his own there, but gets more acceleration on the end to pick up an 8.27.
That will take young Taj Burrow to 28.54, Prestige at 26.23. So as PT pointed out, it is Burrow and Prestige putting on a show, and Taj Burrow up and riding again.
Well, that one's not going to count in his overall final tally, but right behind him, Simon Lowe, looking like he's got another right to work with, gets a good snap on the open face. At the moment, he's battling for third with Vetea David, and that one's not too bad, but it won't be one of the ones that'll get him into first or second.
So Simon Law kicks out. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back to Western Australia after these messages. Simon Law making his way back out into the lineup of the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters from beautiful Margaret River in Western Australia. Todd Harris along with Peter Townend. Our current standings look like this. Taj Burrow out in front with a 28.54. Then it is Prestage at 26.23. Law moves up to a 22.51. And Vetea David 17.94. He only has 3 waves, so all eyes are on Vetea David, and he is in the right spot.
Well, here's Vetea taking a look at his backhand here. He can't go anywhere with that one, so that's not going to help his cause. He's really been struggling here in this final. Meanwhile, going right, Simon Law, who's been coming on a little bit as the final has been progressing. Here he comes along that section. Whitewater rebound, accelerates again. Nice snap there as the wave closes out over the reef. And right behind him, Todd Prestage also choosing to go to the right. Gets a good open face snap right there. He's stalling for the little barrel. He's inside it. And he pops out, so that's going to be a good scoring ride there for Prestige. As that wave closed out, he got covered up.
Taj Burrow not wanting to be left out in this exchange, PT, gets the last wave.
Well, Burrow here, see what he can do here on this final wave of this exchange. Oh, a little air there as he comes off the top right there. Rebounds off the whitewater. We'll have to wait to see what the judges tally up that exchange.
So all 4 competitors log in. Vetea David getting the worst of the exchange, and quite possibly Prestige picking up the best. Let's go back first of all and have a look at Simon Law's wave. This will replace his second ride, and not a bad wave to do it with.
You can see Law had lots of speed right there. He rebounds over that whitewater, but the key maneuver is this snap here as the wave is closing out. He improves and picks up a score of a 6.17. Meanwhile, Todd Prestige, he gets a great ride with this little cover up here. He gets under the lip right here and pops out, gets a 7.27. And finally, Taj Burrow on the final wave of the exchange with the snap on the open face, then the acceleration, whacks it off the lip right there, drives down the inside, and gets an 8.17.
So it is Taj Burrow who continues to impress the judges here at Margaret River with his local knowledge. Burrow stays out in front with a total of 31.04. Four women would compete in the Quit Women's Classic. 3 Australians and 1 Hawaiian. For the Australians, Prue Jeffries, Holly Monkman, the lone Hawaiian would be Megan Abubo, and the final Australian, Lynette McKenzie. The conditions for the final were perfect, 5 to 6 foot and glassy.
Yeah, there was great waves. There was like a little bit of lull, you know, in between the sets and that. But no, there's some really fun waves. Stoked.
From the start of the heat, the contest for first was between the tough Australian Lynette McKenzie and Hawaii's Megan Abubo. Splitting the first wave, Lynette going left and Megan on the right. Young Holly Monkman, a local surfer from Yallingup, Western Australia, would take 4th place in the heat, while fellow countryman Prue Jeffries, World Championship Tour competitor, took 3rd. In the race for first, Lynette McKenzie led early on, but a string of 3 6-point-plus waves for Megan mid-heat would leave Lynette scrambling for a good scoring wave with minutes to go.
It was pretty hard out there with Megan and Prue. You know, all the girls were pushing it really hard, but I've had a few hassles with Megan in the past, so I just wanted to get out there and show her sort of who was boss, I guess.
Lynette's final wave score would put her ahead by 0.03 of a point. The final score, 25.83 to 25.8. We are back to our men's final, the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters. About 2.5 minutes left to go, and it is Taj Burrow in control with a 31.04, Prestige with a 27.33. Then it's Simon Law 26.18, and Vetea David bringing up the rear at 19.26.
Well, a little bit of a cross up there at the takeoff as we see Prestige going on his backhand. Vetea David going to the right. Prestige here ripping it backside here. He needs this good score if he wants to overtake Burrow. He's working it down the inside. Big whack off the top right there as Vetea still riding his wave into that shallow reef section.
Prestige and Vetea David split the peak, but there's no interference. A very rare, clean crossing of the peak. Vetea knows he's pretty much out of it, and he throws himself up onto the dry reef. But Prestige has not given up. He is still a shot at this thing.
Well, as we take a look at the takeoff again, you can see they cross over right there at the takeoff with no real interference. The judges deem they didn't interfere with each other, so they let them ride. As we see Prestige's wave again, he comes around the section there, out on the open face with the good carb, and he picks up a 6.17. It doesn't change his 4-wave total.
Meanwhile, for Vetea David, it just was not his day. One of the best surfers in the world. He only picks up a 5.17. He did win his semi, but PT, Margaret River was just not his break this afternoon.
No, he didn't have a good final, but he loves this break over here. He's always here for the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters. As outside, we see Taj Burrow. He's in the lead. Can he capitalize further? He does a great blast off the top outside with all his speed. An aerial into a 360, and he pulls it. What a way here to end the final, Todd Harris. This guy is on fire.
Talk about the move of the day. Taj Burrow saves quite possibly the best wave for the last with that insane aerial. Looked like it was going to be a complete disaster move, PT, and he saves it.
Well, he gets a great blast right here, and then he just gets the acceleration right here to set up for this incredible new school move. He goes up into the lip here, he reverses the board into a reverse 360, lands the fins, engages them, and spins it around. A great, great move there from the young Taj Burrow.
Well, Taj replaces a second wave, which was a 6.27, with this 7.33. That gives him a 4-wave total of 32.10, and you can't say much more about that wave, PT. It really came at a critical time.
Well, it's the icing on the cake for his performance today. He just had a great final as we see Prestige here. No chance of catching up now. He probably needs a 10.0 or better, and that's not possible out here today. But a great final nevertheless for Todd Prestige. He had a good final and a good run through this contest.
Well, the final ride for Todd Prestage as the horn sounds, wrapping up the 97 Coca-Cola Rusty Masters. But the day belonged to Taj Burrow. When we come back, we'll talk to our winner and have the awards ceremony. Welcome back to the conclusion of the 1997 Coca-Cola Rusty Masters from beautiful Margaret River in Western Australia. Moments ago, this was the scene at the awards ceremony as the throng came in to see the local boy claim his prize. It was Taj Burrow taking the victory by virtue of his 32.10. He was followed by Todd Prestage, Simon Law, and Vetea David. Let's go down to PT.
Thanks, Todd. I'm here with today's winner of the Coca-Cola Rusty Masters, Taj Burrow. Taj, a great performance out there. You seem like you're having a bit of a tussle with Todd Prestage.
Yeah, Todd was actually, really hard to surf against. He's actually one of my rivals, even though he's a little bit older, though. I'm really glad to come out on top just at the end. It was really hard.
We had that incredibly exciting wave there at the end. You did the aerial maneuver and the crowd was screaming.
Yeah, I got to be excited myself. I was getting pretty confident at the end after like 3 good scores, and I just had a really nice little section pop up, so I just went for something crazy.
Must be feel real special that you win here in front of the hometown crowd.
Definitely, I'm stoked to win here. I mean, it's really good WA vibe, and just a lot of support from all my friends and stuff, and I think it's a real challenging place to win, so I'm honoured.
Well, congratulations, Taj.
Okay, thanks, PT.
Back to you, Todd.
Thanks, PT. And so the history books are written once again, and the name of Taj Burrow goes in as the 1997 Coca-Cola Rusty Master champion from Margaret River. We hope you've enjoyed this great show. Next year, plan on being here in person. For Peter Town and I'm Todd Harris. We will see you next time from Western Australia right here on ESPN.